Did you know your body has a built-in system that can clean damaged cells, help you stay lean, and support long-term health without any expensive supplements? Most people never activate it on purpose. They just keep eating, snacking, stressing, sleeping poorly, and wonder why energy drops, weight creeps up, and inflammation becomes the new normal after 40, 50, and 60. But Japan gave the world a different way to think about aging. In today's video, I'll show you simple daily habits inspired by 5 legendary Japanese doctors and scientists who changed how we understand longevity. We'll talk about the science of autophagy, the metabolic power of fasting, the Okinawan rule of eating to 80% full, and the specific food patterns that make your body feel lighter, sharper, and more resilient. And stay with me, because near the end, I'll give you a practical starter schedule you can follow for 7 days, even if you've never fasted in your life. Quick note, this video is educational, not medical advice. If you have diabetes, take blood pressure meds, are pregnant, have an eating disorder history, or have any chronic condition, talk to your clinician before changing meal timing. Now, let's start with the foundation. What is autophagy? Autophagy is your body's cellular recycling and cleanup system. Think of it like housekeeping at the microscopic level. Your cells constantly accumulate damaged proteins and worn-out components. If those junk parts build up, your cells become less efficient. Autophagy helps break them down and recycle them, so your body can rebuild with healthier materials. This is not a trend, this is biology. The scientist who helped unlock the modern understanding of autophagy is Dr. Yoshinori Ohsumi, a Nobel Prize-winning researcher. His work helps show how cells self-clean and why that matters for survival. Here's the big idea. Autophagy becomes more active when your body is not constantly digesting food, especially during periods of fasting, calorie restriction, or metabolic stress. And that matters because when your energy is not going into digestion all day, your body can shift into repair mode. People love to romanticize autophagy as some magical detox, but the truth is simpler and more powerful. Autophagy is one of the reasons your body can maintain balance, adapt, and stay resilient. And now scientists link autophagy-related pathways to topics like aging biology, metabolic health, immune regulation, and neurodegenerative processes. So the question becomes practical. How do you activate autophagy in real life? You don't need extreme measures. You don't need 3-day water fasts. You need simple, repeatable, daily habits. And the first habit is the most important. One of the most consistent triggers for autophagy is time without food. That's it. Intermittent fasting simply means you create a daily window where you don't eat, so your body can shift from digestion to repair. In many traditional Japanese lifestyles, long gaps between dinner and breakfast were normal, not because they were following a protocol. Because they ate earlier, they ate lighter, and they didn't snack late at night. A common gentle target many people use is 12 to 16 hours overnight. If you're new, start with 12 hours. That alone can be powerful. For example, finish dinner at 7 p.m. Eat breakfast at 7 a.m. That's 12 hours. Then, if you feel good, move slowly. 13 hours, 14 hours, eventually 16 for some people. But here's the detail most people miss. Fasting is not only about weight, it changes metabolism. And this brings us to another Japanese scientist whose work became famous for a surprising reason. Dr. Teruya's research is often discussed for showing that fasting influences metabolic pathways, how your body produces energy and responds to stress. Let me simplify what this means in everyday language. When you stop eating for a while, your body doesn't shut down. It switches gears. Many people feel less bloating, steadier energy, fewer cravings, and a cleaner sense of focus. Not because calories are magic, but because your body is not stuck in the constant cycle of glucose spikes, insulin swings, and digestion fatigue. 3 big takeaways people associate with this research area. 1. Metabolic activation. Your body becomes more flexible in how it produces energy. 2. Antioxidant support. Fasting can shift the body into a more protective internal state. 3. Longevity-related repair signals. Not immortality, just better cellular maintenance over time. Now let's be honest, if fasting were easy, everyone would do it. So the question becomes, how do you make fasting doable without feeling miserable? That's where Okinawa comes in. In Okinawa, one of the most famous longevity regions in the world, there's a traditional rule, hara hachi bu, eat until you're 80% full, not stuffed, not I can't breathe, not I need to lie down. 80%. This does 2 things at once. It lowers total calorie load without strict dieting. It naturally creates more time where your body isn't overloaded with digestion, and that helps support autophagy indirectly. Now, there's one doctor who became a living symbol of this idea. Intermittent fasting simply means you create a daily window where you don't eat, so your body can shift from digestion to repair. In many traditional Japanese lifestyles, long gaps between dinner and breakfast were normal. Not because they were following a protocol, because they ate earlier, they ate lighter, and they didn't snack late at night. A common gentle target many people use is 12 to 16 hours overnight. If you're new, start with 12 hours. That alone can be powerful. For example, finish dinner at 7 p.m. Eat breakfast at 7 a.m. That's 12 hours. Then, if you feel good, move slowly. 13 hours, 14 hours, eventually 16 for some people. But here's the detail most people miss. Fasting is not only about weight, it changes metabolism. And this brings us to another Japanese scientist whose work became famous for a surprising reason. Dr. Hinohara was one of Japan's most respected longevity voices, and he worked actively into very old age. His philosophy wasn't eat perfectly. It was stay engaged, stay curious, stay light. Physically and mentally, he emphasized not overeating, avoiding heavy processed foods, staying active in simple ways, stairs, walking, daily movement, and maintaining purpose. Because here's something seniors understand better than anyone. Health is not only about adding years to life, it's about adding life to years. And one of the fastest ways to lose life from your day is constant heaviness. Too much food, too late, too often. So if intermittent fasting feels hard, start with hara hachi bu. Just stop a little earlier than you're used to, and let that become your new normal. Now for tip number 3, we answer the question everyone asks, what should I eat to support autophagy and longevity without turning my life into a strict diet plan? That's where the next doctor comes in. If you want autophagy to work in your favor, meal timing matters, but food quality matters too. A respected Japanese physician known for modified fasting approaches is Dr. Yumi Ishihara, who often talks about the modern problem in one sentence. Most people eat too much too often. His general style emphasizes lighter intake earlier, longer gaps between meals, and simpler foods that don't keep insulin high all day. Now, I'm not telling you to copy any extreme plan, but I will show you the principles behind these patterns so you can apply them safely. Principle 1. Break a fast gently. Many people ruin fasting by breaking it with a heavy meal. If you go 14-16 hours without food and then eat something huge, greasy, and sugary, your body doesn't feel refreshed. It feels attacked. A gentle break could be a small portion of protein, A+ fiber, or a light meal with vegetables first, or even a small smoothie with healthy fats. Some traditions use juices, like carrot or apple. But here's the modern caution. Juice can spike blood sugar fast. So if you use something like juice, keep it small and pair it with a handful of nuts, yogurt, or a spoon of olive oil, so sugar absorption slows down. Principle 2. Choose a traditional Japanese-style food pattern. A longevity-friendly Japanese pattern often centers around vegetables, seaweed, fermented foods, legumes like soy, miso, natto, fish in moderate amounts, and whole grains like brown rice, barley. What's the common theme? These foods tend to be nutrient-dense, lower in processed sugars, supportive for gut health, and easier for the body to regulate. Now, one of the most influential voices connecting gut health, digestion, and long-term disease prevention is intermittent fasting. Simply means you create a daily window where you don't eat, so your body can shift from digestion to repair. In many traditional Japanese lifestyles, long gaps between dinner and breakfast were normal, not because they were following a protocol, because they ate earlier, they ate lighter, and they didn't snack late at night. A common gentle target many people use is 12 to 16 hours overnight. If you're new, start with 12 hours. That alone can be powerful. For example, finish dinner at 7 p.m., eat breakfast at 7 a.m. That's 12 hours. Then, if you feel good, move slowly. 13 hours, 14 hours, eventually 16 for some people. But here's the detail most people miss. Fasting is not only about weight, it changes metabolism. And this brings us to another Japanese scientist whose work became famous for a surprising reason. Dr. Shinya emphasized the idea that your gut is not just a food tube, it's a control system. If your digestion is inflamed, slow, and overloaded, your body struggles to regulate appetite, manage blood sugar, maintain energy, and even maintain immune balance. He promoted simpler eating patterns and talked a lot about hydration, plant-focused foods, and reducing ultra-processed intake. You'll also see the concept of a little fast in this tradition. Early dinner, later breakfast the next day, a consistent overnight gap, not because it's trendy, because it gives the digestive system time to rest. What suppresses autophagy the fastest? If you want the honest answer, it's not one bad food. It's the pattern: constant snacking, refined sugars, and ultra-processed food combinations that keep insulin elevated high. Frequent insulin signals the body: store, build, digest, store again. And it keeps repair mode quiet. So the goal is not perfection. The goal is longer breaks and cleaner inputs. Now I'm going to give you a practical framework that turns all of this into a daily routine you can actually follow. But first, quick check-in. If you're getting value from this, hit like and subscribe. I focus on science-based longevity habits that are simple enough to follow in real life. Now let's put it all together. The 7-day Japanese longevity autophagy starter plan. This is designed to be gentle. If you do this for 7 days, most people notice less late-night hunger, steadier energy, reduced bloating, better sleep and clearer mental focus. Day 1 to 2, 12-hour overnight fasting. Dinner, finish by 7-8 p.m. Breakfast after 7-8 a.m. No late snacks. Water and unsweetened tea are fine. Day 3-4, add hara hachi bu. At lunch and dinner, stop at 80% full. A simple test. If you feel, I could still eat a little, that's usually the right moment to stop. Day 5 to 7, extend to 13 to 14 hours only if you feel good. Do not force 16 hours if your body is fighting you. Consistency beats intensity. Food structure, simple. At your main meals, 1. Vegetables first. 2. Protein second. 3. Carbs last. This single order helps many people reduce spikes and cravings. Daily movement, the Hinohara rule. You don't need a gym. Just do one thing, a 10 to 20-minute walk daily plus stairs when possible. Movement helps circulation, glucose control, and overall metabolic health, making fasting easier. The biggest mistakes people make, avoid these. Mistake number 1, trying to be extreme on day 1. If you jump into a 20-hour fast and feel shaky, angry, or dizzy, you'll quit. Start at 12, then build. Mistake number 2, fasting but eating junk in the window. Fasting is not a license to eat ultra-processed food. If your eating window is fast food plus sugar, autophagy won't save you from inflammation. Mistake number 3, ignoring sleep. Poor sleep increases cravings and stress hormones, and chronic stress makes your body cling to habits you're trying to change. A simple rule: earlier dinner, earlier sleep, morning light exposure. Mistake number 4, doing this without caution if you take medications. If you take insulin, diabetes meds, or blood pressure meds, meal timing can change how you feel. Always be careful and involve your clinician if needed. What you should realistically expect, let's be practical. Within 3 to 7 days, many people feel lighter digestion, fewer cravings, better morning clarity. Within 2 to 4 weeks of consistency, many notice easier weight control, improved energy, better sleep rhythm. Autophagy is not a miracle switch. It's a biological process that becomes stronger when your lifestyle makes room for it. And that's the real Japanese lesson. Longevity is not one superfood. It's not one hack. It's daily rhythm. If you remember only 3 things, remember this. 1. Give your body a daily break from food. Start with 12 hours. 2. Stop eating at 80% full. 3. Build meals around whole foods, vegetables, legumes, fermented foods, fish in moderation, and minimal sugar. Now I want to ask you, which habit will you start with first? 12-hour fasting window? Hara hachi bu? Earlier dinner? Or cutting late-night snacks? Write it in the comments, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you want, I can also. Intermittent fasting simply means you create a daily window where you don't eat, so your body can shift from digestion to repair. In many traditional Japanese lifestyles, long gaps between dinner and breakfast were normal. Not because they were following a protocol, because they ate earlier, they ate lighter, and they didn't snack late at night. A common, gentle target many people use is 12 to 16 hours overnight. If you're new, start with 12 hours. That alone can be powerful. For example, finish dinner at 7:00 p.m. Eat breakfast at 7:09 a.m. That's 12 hours. Then, if you feel good, move slowly. 13 hours, 14 hours, eventually 16 for some people. But here's the detail most people miss. Fasting is not only about weight, it changes metabolism. And this brings us to another Japanese scientist whose work became famous for a surprising reason.